Okay, so we are on to part 3 of this thing. I'm going to try to put in at least a half an hour of this. It's probably half an hour or however long this the last video, part 2, takes to upload, which is whichever one's later, because I thought that these uploading times they would be longer. I'm not complaining, it's just I'm having to think a little bit now. But yeah, these I'm still continuing on my video series of reviewing the resolutions packet for the 2025 winter meeting of the Idaho Republican Party. Got real mad at a resolution with the last video because well, I talk about it. This glamping thing is stupid. Got real mad at it. Anyway, and while I was recording that, a comment already came in, and I haven't done any of the social stuff yet for the stuff. It was all just clicky-clacky YouTube stuff, and haven't even done promoting of any of this stuff at all. And subsequently, it should not have been a surprise that the only person who gets notifications for my YouTube videos of that channel is one Thomas Jensen. Of course it would have been him, but anyway, so I'm about to continue on as long as I get the yep, okay, this thing is still working properly, and I still have the highlight from the last time still on there, but this is 2024-22, and we're about 2 minutes into, so 2:13 into the video. 13. Medicare expansion. Oh, great. Okay, we're getting into it. All right, Medicare expansion submitted by Craig Yadden, Brian Persons. These are the Bannock County people. Looks like. Okay, cool. Whereas access to health care is a reasonable constitutional objective under the General Welfare Clause of okay. Sometimes this is made, that particular kind of statement is made to support some very un-Republican things. I get what you're getting at here, so I will reserve judgment. Whereas government programs like the Affordable Care Act and Medicaid expansion have served to stifle competition. Okay, I see what you're getting at here. All right. Yeah, stifling competition. Yeah, it's the government does not help; it only hurts. Everyone understands. Whereas Medicaid expansion has increased the government payer-patient pool. I cannot talk. I need to go to bed. And as a result, handed an increased leverage to anti-competitive practices and negative. Okay, this is all true. This is all bland Republican stuff, actually, to be quite honest with you. Of course, people, some people who like to denigrate conservatives, let's say this is extremist, when no, it is absolutely not extremist at all. This is actually bog standard Republican stuff. Anyway, continuing. These anti-competitive practices of forced closure, acquisition, or consolidation of 100. Yeah, this is a problem, and I'm told this is even worse problem in a lot of the far-flung parts of the state. So, yeah, okay. They are laying the groundwork for a very real thing here. Idaho is a sparsely populated, just said far-flung, and disproportionately affected by healthcare. Yeah. It's best served by competitive and free healthcare. Yeah, that's in the platform, I believe. Be it known that the Idaho Republican Party supports effective legislation to empower and okay. Wait, that's it? You could have put a little bit more meat on the bones here, but okay. Yeah, be it known that the Idaho Republican Party supports effective legislation to empower private and community healthcare clinics and discourages the anti-competitive consolidation of healthcare markets abetted by government favor. Here, here, hard, here, here, agree. Moving on to the next one. So 2024-1003 1003B. Is this THX 1138? 2024. I'm gonna have to get the. I'm now double taking to see 2024 1003 B. Okay. All right. Where are we at in the video? 610. Resolution to implement a life sentence for imprisonment for sex trafficking a minor in Idaho. I'm already hard agree here. Okay, cool. Submitted by Melanie Vanderveer, one of the good Kootenai people up there in North Idaho. Whereas children are a gift from God and should be treated that way. Sold. Hard agree. Okay. Human trafficking of minors is one. Okay. This isn't even a Republican thing. This is a human thing. I don't understand why people would be against what they've written so far. Whereas human trafficking has high returns, sex trafficking alone has a market. Well, I didn't know the economics of it until now. That's horrifying. According to the project, seeking out children every 47 jobs. Oh, that's horrifying. Whereas Alabama just enacted the toughest human making lessons for imprisonment of sex trafficking a minor. Additionally, Arizona has legislation on the November ballot asking the people in supporting a life sentence if convicted. Okay. Whereas, because of the severity of this crime and the impact of many state advocates for children are calling for tougher punishments on traffickers. And, oh, did you mean to make a separate whereas clause right here, Melanie? You might have... Yeah, okay. Well, I'm just going to treat it that way. Whereas current Idaho statutes say a person who can commit in this part of the code shall be guilty of a felony punishment by imprisonment of a period no less than 10 years, but no more than... Oh. Okay, we need to fix that. The no more than 30. We need to fix that. Or by fine, a fine. Just a fine of no less than 20K, but no more than... No. Okay. You're about to suggest a fix to this, I would imagine, since you're bringing these details up. There must be a line drawn as, yes, I agree. Idaho should be leading the country to protect our children. Okay. Okay. You'll need to change this to Idaho Republican Party, I would imagine. Okay, I would imagine that you just copy-pasted and this is just left in there. Okay. 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 I see what you're doing here. You're doing it the old way, where you forward it to. Okay. Okay. I see what you're doing here. This first whereas this first resolve clause there. You've made the case for a much more stronger resolve clause. I think you're going light. Other than that, this is fine. This. So, part 2 just finished uploading just now in my Vision over here. Okay, but let's hard agree. Current law is horrifying. This needs to be changed ASAP. But that is horrifying. Just those numbers. It's almost like you've oversold and then just put in the low ask, which is interesting, but I'm not going to assume any wrongdoing here or anything like that. It's just, you could have gone a lot farther with this resolution and been completely justified with it. But yeah, hard agree. I'm going to move on before I... Okay, so finally we're getting into the 2025 resolutions. So the next one is 2025-1, and we are how far in here? 11:32 into the video. So what is 2025-1? What is this? Resolution to amend the flag code with respect to the display of flags. Okay, somebody was a Boy Scout. Submitted by Lynn. Lynn Bradescu was definitely not a Boy Scout. But okay, no, Lynn, we disagree on some things, but in recent years we've been cooperating a lot more for the advancement of conservatism in local political spaces. So Lynn's all right. Lynn's good people. Whereas there's a growing level of disrespect for the American flag and for the flags of the military. I don't disagree there. That is absolutely a thing that is sadly happening. Whereas local government entities are without clear guidance on what is a... Really? Really, Lynn? They are without clear guidance. None of them picked up a Scout handbook? Okay. Okay. Whereas some local entities have permitted flags to be displayed as supportive ideas and principles that are not in... Oh, this is the LGBTQIA++ WTF BBQ LOL crowd flag, isn't it? Okay. Be it resolved that, okay, so okay, I get what's going on here, Lynn. All right. Be it resolved that the Idaho Republican Party supports limiting the split of the public flag between the American flag, the United States flag, official flag of any government, and okay. Oh no. My computer just did something. The American flag on the flag of the official flag, military branches, units of the PAMIA, and official flag of the Union Troops. Public property. Okay, so private, of course, we're not going to be making any statements on, but public property. Okay, yeah, that's extremely important right there. Okay. Be it further resolved that the Idaho Republican Party directs the state chairman to request the Idaho GOP legislative leaders to work with their fellow legislators in the passage of the law. Okay, so yeah, just not have any of the gay rainbow stuff on public property. Okay, cool. I get this one. I'll say agree and move on. I'm just gonna move on. 2025-2. Okay, 2025-2. Where are we at in the video? 1422. Okay. All right. Make Idaho a republic resolution from Tammy Payne out in Owyhee County. Okay, to be presented by... Okay, cool. Whereas Article 4, Section 4 of the United States Constitution states the United States shall guarantee unto every state the a republican form of government. Yeah, it says that. If I remember right, it's like the thing that's right before it in the Constitution also. Anyway, never mind. Okay. Whereas the framers of the Constitution gave an example through the U.S. Constitution as to what properly formed a republic looks like. Okay, I get that. Article 2, Section 3 of the U.S. Constitution says the Senate of the U.S. shall be composed of 2 senators of each state. Okay, what are you building here? The purpose of Article 2, Section 3 was to give each state equal representation regardless of population, protecting more agrarian states from urban rule. Okay. The current fashion of the elected senators better resembles a representative rather than a republic. Are you trying to make at-large districts again? I hope not. I'm going to keep reading. Whereas the state of Iowa has heavy growth in urban centers, largely from out of state. You're not wrong there. Okay, you're not wrong, and we do need to be balancing that with a lot of Idahoan interests. Okay, residents of each county in Idaho have better understanding of their culture, economy. Okay. Therefore, be it resolved that the following example of the United States Constitution, Article 2, Section 3, of that the state of Idaho should have 1 senator from each county, regardless of population. I'm going to have to think on that one a little bit. It's an interesting idea, and it's very similar to how it used to be. I just walked down the halls of the legislature sometime, and you'll see a lot of these photos of old senators and whatnot, and the places they represented, and it's a little bit of an interesting thing to go look at through the history that's on there. Okay, but it continues. Upon passage of this resolution by the blah 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 blah, shall be presented winter meeting. Okay, yeah, that's just a little bit of procedure there. Take the official. I don't hate it. I want to hear more about this, though. Don't hate it, as there is historical precedent for this. I want to hear the presentation on this. Passive agree. I'm just going to move on. I need to be getting through stuff at least. Resolution 2025-3, 25-3. And where are we in the video? 1825, got it. A comment has just come through. Yeah, it's Tom again. Okay, I'm continuing on. All right, 2025-3. Protecting Idaho from a dictatorship resolution. Okay, coming on strong there by Tammy Payne out of Owyhee County again. Whereas, in accordance with the U.S. Constitution, Article 1, Section 1, all legislative powers herein granted by shall be vested in Congress of the United States, which, okay. The legislative branch shall make laws. Okay, you're building a lot of what was in the last resolution, which I don't necessarily disagree with, but let's see where it goes. Whereas during COVID-19 scare, the state declared an emergency upon the hype. And okay, we're going this direction. Okay. Conflicted with the farm. In fact, I got a story or two to tell about what my job was at the time and how the news came down and stuff. Yeah, this non-essential. Oh yeah, that's right. We were declaring, well, not we. The state government was apparently declaring human beings to be non-essential. Okay, the downstream effects of these emergency laws, education, okay, separated families, okay, oh, you're going straight into resolved already. Okay. Upon passage of this resolution, shall be presented at the winter meeting. Okay. That the respectfully request that I undertake official position to promote legislation and okay. In accordance with Article emergency power should be in the hands of the agree. It is regrettable we ever referred to human beings as non-essential. All right, I'm gonna move on because well, there's not much. I could talk a lot about things that I agree with. Okay, next one is Resolution 2025-4 of 5-4. Where are we in the video? Okay, 2152. Okay, 2025-4, extending Fourth Amendment protection for the Idaho citizens to include all private property not open to the public beyond the curtilage open fields resolution. Okay, this better not be the glamping thing. Okay, so something about Fourth Amendment property. Okay. You know what? I'm willing to bet that there's a good way to simplify this title here. It's way freaking long. Submitted by Timmy Lowry, a PC out in probably a much more beautiful place than I'm living. Owyhee County, Tammy Payne. Okay, cool. Whereas government agents of all types across the nation have been entering private property without a warrant under the guise of the U.S. Supreme Court's open fields doctrine. Oh, I know what this is about. Okay, yeah, I've been following a lot of LawTube stuff, and most lawyers are extremely unhappy about what's been going on. Putting government people putting game cameras on part of your property, and yeah, I know what. Okay, I know what they're getting at here. Whereas founding fathers well understood that property is the foundation of every other right that we have. Property is essential to life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. Yeah, okay. So far you're talking my language here. Whereas the Supreme Court in that case right there, and in that other case right there, held that the Fourth Amendment protection to citizens does not extend to the open field. Okay. Supreme Courts in some courts instead. Okay, so the state Supreme Courts instead of you should specify there. Including the surrounding states of Oregon, Washington, and Montana, have ruled that their state constitution provide protection for their citizens beyond the narrow reading of the. Okay, cool. Yeah, I get it. South Dakota passed legislation. Unreasonable intrusion. Okay, Idaho does not have. Oh, really? I did not know that. They do not have similar protection for citizens of Idaho. Okay. Whereas the Idaho Republican platform, supports private property rights, and yeah, I'm familiar with. I'm familiar with that. Therefore, be it resolved. Okay, so we're already jumping into there. There's a lot more case you could be building here, dude. But okay. That the Owyhee County RCC supports their. Okay. And that the Owyhee requests that hard agree. Speaking my language there, hard agree. Okay, I'm going to move on to 2025-5 here, it looks like. 2025-5. Okay, and where are we? 2507, 507. So 2025-5 is resolution to allow 527 organization to conduct. Oh, okay, I know what this is. Yeah, there's certain frustrations that we were having with certain partisan activities, I guess we'll say, and we had to tiptoe around a lot of laws around raffles and lotteries and such. Whereas, well, Idaho has a long and proud tradition of gun ownership and support for the Second Amendment. You're kind of underselling it here, Steve. Whereas Idaho has a long and proud tradition of supporting nonprofits through. That is also true. You go to any random county in this state, and yeah, it's kind of a thing. Kind of, some would call it weird, and others would call it Idahoan. Whereas, where a current law requires that anyone conducting a raffle must be a qualified organization under that stuff. Okay, there's a bunch of details Steve is using to build a case here. Okay, cool. Whereas 527 organization, okay, he's referencing some part of this. Are not included in that. Okay, cool. As long as the standing practice of local political parties and to conduct a fundraising event, that is also true. Whereas, jumped a little bit. Some parents will qualify currently by a 527. Okay, I see where you're going here, Steve. The option for correcting this situation for the greater good is to include fund on the qualified list. Therefore, be it resolved that the Idaho Republican Party supports amending Idaho Code, that citation right there, to include 527 organization among qualified. Okay. Be it resolved that the Idaho Republican Party directs the state chair to transmit draft legislation to. Okay, cool. Hard agree. Moving on. Actually, what are we at right now? Okay, one more resolution. So, oh, Steve put in the, okay. Oh, that's what he meant by the draft legislation. Okay, cool. That's a lot of it. Okay, 2025-6. Let's see. See, where are we at? See, 2749 in the video now. So what is 2025-6? What is this? Resolution regarding merchandise sale. Okay, this is a lot of the same with Steve Bender here because of recent things. That's okay. In fact, a lot of this is actually probably a direct result of a lot of the crap that was going on near the end of last year when the seditious six resigned, and we're having to do a lot of things very quickly, and over half of them are fundraising. So there's Steve being the guy that he is, he already knows about a lot of this, but he knows where the stumbling blocks are and where the walls are, and those are the most frustrating of all, is the things that we couldn't actually do, especially in a hurry. So okay, yeah, I see where this is all coming from now. Right on, Steve. You even said that you would be doing this. Yeah, okay. Whereas it was understood that contribution to candidate campaign or exchange of from a door for an expectation of political support from the candidate. Okay. Whereas the Republican Party of Idaho supports the transparency in campaign finance. Okay. Whereas current law requires that the name and address of every donor contributing aggregate donations of 50 or more be annually reported to the Secretary of State. That's true. Whereas current law also requires a candidate or a PAC maintain the name and address without contributing any amount. That's a thing. Candidates and PACs routinely offer sale merchandise to include. Oh, yeah, this is the fair thing, isn't it? Whereas current law also treats contributions as reportable contribution. Okay, yeah. Whereas many Idahoans seek to purchase events and local express their displeasure with having to have their information recorded. And they're not wrong. It's kind of a weird thing to have to do, and it's unsettling. Whereas record keeping burden on volunteer and staff is excessively burdensome, having sold a lot of merchandise at the most recent Western Idaho Fair, I can attest that this is underselling it quite a bit. Steve Bender is absolutely understating the burden here. This is absolutely correct. Whereas the contributor receives a tangible item in exchange and not just an expectation of support. It's a good distinction that they're making here. Okay. Whereas therefore be it resolved that the Idaho Republican Party supports a limited amendment to the Idaho campaign finance that permits reporting of candidates. Okay. The thing that we actually want, that'll fix the burden here. Okay, cool. That Sunshine Report, they include no. Okay, I see where you're coming from here, Steve. That campaigns and PACs are exempted from all that. Well, that's the right state, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Therefore, be it further resolved that the Idaho Republican Party has to enact this legislation, and then he attaches. Okay, so, hard agree. All right, and I'll just leave the page at here, 2025-7. So that's what we will be taking care of in the next video. I'm going to transition here. We are now 31:37 at the video, so I'm just going to cut it off and start the next video right after this. This was part 3. We're going to go into part 4 here in a little bit. I'm stalling until I can get OBS to, here we are. Okay, so anyway, see you in the next video, which is coming shortly. Blessings.